You've probably seen the Shane Dawson Chuck E. Cheese conspiracy videos where he goes into depth on how Chuck E. Cheese pizzas just kind of look weird. They kind of look like somebody took slices from leftover pizza and pieced them together to make a circle.
If you push the pizza together, there's no way that's a circle.
Some of the pieces will stick out, it just doesn't really seem to make sense. Does Chuck E. Cheese really recycle leftover pizza into new pies for new customers? As a former Chuck E. Cheese employee, I can tell you the answer right now. There are a few reasons for this. I'm gonna start with number one, who they hire. When I worked for Chuck E. Cheese, I was a 16-year-old girl. I was a high schooler who just needed a job. I had skinny little arms. I'm not very strong. I had a really good work ethic, but that does not really exist in that many high schoolers. So you're gonna have probably quite a few more lazy employees at Chuck E. Cheese. No disrespect to any Chuck E. Cheese employees. I worked there. I had some really great coworkers, but for the most part, the hiring is not phenomenal. They lightly touched on the real reason in the video.
I found the reason!
The reason they touched on was a quote from a previous employee who said the cutter was kind of heavy and awkward, and that is true.
That doesn't make sense.
And that does contribute to why the pizza ends up the way it is. But that's not the entire reason. You have skinny little high schoolers work in the kitchen for the most part. Hot pizza's going through the oven on a hot plate, and then that hot plate is taken out. The pizza is slid onto a cutting board. Sometimes there's a place to put the hot plate, sometimes there's not. So often you're working with just one hand to cut it. So you have your heavy pizza cutter and you're going to cut the pizza. And guess what? Once like the two halves are detached from each other, one starts sliding because it's a very slippery, very clean cutting board and the pizza is greasy. So it shifts a little bit, but your hand is full, so you're not shifting the pizza back. So then you make another cut that way and the pizza shifts that way a little bit. So you're getting not entirely uniform slices. And when it comes time to shove all these pizzas on the little bumpy plastic tray that comes out,
Because it's the cutter!
it's not gonna look right. It's not gonna fit together entirely perfectly.
Cooking pizza cutter that makes different shapes!
Take a pizza and try this yourself. Cook the pizza, cut it in half, shift it a little bit, cut it a little bit, shift it again, and see if you can piece it together to make a full circle. You can't. Also, then the cheese is very piping hot because Chuck E. Cheese works really hard to get these pizzas out while they're still hot. And they put a lot of cheese on the pizza. Like, it's more cheese than most pizza places use. So it fills in those cracks and you can't really see those little weird errors in cutting.
Guys, it makes perfect sense!
And that's why, if you guys want me to do a cutting example, I absolutely will. So just let me know and I'll go get a pizza and I'll show you. And Shane Dawson, if you want me to give you a personal example, call me up. I used to work for Chuck E. Cheese and I'm pretty sure we're closely neighbors here in LA.